2 summers ago, I watched my sister spend an entire Saturday afternoon on her hands and knees, pulling plants out of her garden beds and tossing them into a trash bag. She was proud of it, sent me a photo. Clean beds, bare soil, not a green thing she hadn't planted herself. I recognized at least 4 of those plants in the photo. One of them is sold at Whole Foods for $8 a bunch. One of them has more omega-3 fatty acids per gram than most fish oil supplements. One of them has been used as medicine since ancient Greece and is currently sold in health food stores across the country as a lung support supplement. And one of them, the one she complained was the hardest to pull out, has been called a lymphatic tonic by European herbalists for centuries. She had no idea. And honestly, a few years ago, neither did I. Here is what nobody tells you. The average American yard is quietly growing some of the most nutritious, most medicinal, most valuable plants on the planet. And we are out here treating them like criminals. Today, I am going to show you 10 so-called weeds that are almost certainly growing in your yard right now. By the end of this video, you are going to look at your garden in a completely different way. One important note before we start. Always be 100% certain of your plant identification before you eat anything from the wild. Some plants have dangerous lookalikes. When in doubt, cross-reference with a good field guide or a local expert. Now let's get into it. Number 1. Dandelion. Let's start with the one that lawn care companies have spent decades convincing us is public enemy number 1. That cheerful yellow flower pushing up through the grass every spring. Here is what I wish someone had told me years ago. Every single part of the dandelion is edible. The roots, the leaves, the flowers, even the stem. The young leaves picked before the flower opens taste like arugula, slightly bitter in the best possible way, and they are loaded with vitamins A, B complex, C, and E, plus iron, potassium, and magnesium. The roots can be dried, roasted, and ground into a coffee substitute that supports liver health. The flowers make wine, fritters, and a gorgeous addition to salads. Pharmacological research has confirmed real, science-backed anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and anti-diabetic properties in dandelion. And here is the part that floors me. Dandelion greens are now sold in grocery stores across the country. People are paying for something growing free in their yard right now as you watch this. Don't pull it, harvest it. Number 2 is the one most people have stepped on at least 1,000 times without a second thought. Number 2, broadleaf plantain. Flat, low-growing, thick parallel veins running down each leaf. It is in every lawn, every sidewalk crack, every suburban backyard in America. In my honest opinion, this is the most underrated plant on this entire list. Native Americans called it white man's foot because it appeared everywhere Europeans settled. They recognized it immediately as a powerful healing plant. Crush a fresh plantain leaf and press it onto a bee sting, a mosquito bite, or a small cut. Within minutes, the itching starts to ease. The leaf draws out inflammation like a natural compress. I have done this dozens of times in my own garden when I had nothing else on hand, and it genuinely works. The young leaves are also edible. Steam them, sauté them, or brew them into a tea used traditionally for urinary and respiratory support. The seeds are related to psyllium, the same fiber ingredient in commercial digestive supplements sold in pharmacies. You have probably bought a version of this plant at a drugstore without realizing it was growing free in the cracks of your driveway. Number 3 grows in the shady, moist corners of your yard and is so easy to miss that most people compost it without a second look. Number 3, chickweed. Low-growing, soft green, small star-shaped white flowers. Easy to overlook, big mistake. Chickweed is rich in phosphorus, calcium, and iron. The young leaves have a mild, slightly grassy flavor that works beautifully in early spring salads when almost nothing else in the garden is ready yet. Think of it as nature's bridge between winter and your first real harvest. It shows up in February and March, when the garden is still mostly mud, already green, already ready to eat. Medically, chickweed has been used for centuries as a topical poultice for minor burns, rashes, and skin irritation. The anti-inflammatory compounds are documented. What I love most about chickweed is its timing. When everything else is dormant and fresh greens cost a premium at the grocery store, chickweed is already growing outside your door for free. Number 4, and I want you to remember this one if you remember nothing else today, because this is the one that surprises people most. Number 4, lamb's quarters. Tall, sometimes 4 to 5 feet, with dusty green diamond-shaped leaves and a distinctive whitish coating on the underside. Most people pull it immediately because it looks weedy and aggressive. Here is what those people are throwing away. Lamb's quarters has more calcium than spinach, more protein than spinach, more vitamin C than spinach, more vitamin A than spinach. It contains more iron and protein per serving than raw cabbage. 1 ounce of lamb's quarters provides 65% of your daily recommended vitamin A and 37% of your vitamin C. And here's the comparison that genuinely gets me every time. Its seeds are a direct botanical cousin of quinoa, the grain we now pay $8 or $9 a bag for at the grocery store. Quinoa's wild ancestor is growing in your backyard right now, asking for nothing, thriving in poor soil, needing zero water. Young leaves taste great raw in salads. Older leaves saute beautifully with olive oil and garlic. The seeds can be ground and added to flour or cereal. This plant was a staple grain crop in North America for thousands of years before corn took over. We traded it away, forgot it, and started calling it a weed. That was one of the worst nutritional mistakes this continent ever made. Speaking of plants that most people have forgotten, if you want a complete practical guide to growing, preparing, and getting the most out of medicinal and edible plants like these, I put together a special bonus for you. It's in the first pinned comment below whenever you're ready. Now let's keep going because the next 8 plants are where it gets really interesting. Number 5. Stinging nettle. Yes, I know. You have walked through it. You know exactly what it feels like. Those hollow hairs inject formic acid and histamine directly into your skin the moment you touch them. It is unpleasant, but here is the thing. That sting disappears completely the second you cook it. Blanch the leaves in boiling water for 30 seconds, and those stinging hairs are completely neutralized. What you are left with is one of the most nutritious cooked greens you can put on a plate. Nettle is loaded with vitamins A, B complex, K, and C. Rich in iron, calcium, potassium, and silica, minerals that most Americans are chronically low in. Nutritionally, it performs like kale and spinach had a very ambitious baby. The research behind nettle is real. It has been studied for its ability to reduce allergy symptoms, working almost like a natural antihistamine, and the root has been studied specifically for prostate health in men. Nettle tea is mainstream in Germany, Austria, and the UK, sold in every grocery store, drunk daily by millions of people. In the US, we treat the plant like a hazard. Pick it with gloves. Blanch it. Sauté it with butter and garlic. You will not believe how good it is. Number 6 stops people in their tracks because it is honestly one of the most beautiful plants that grows wild in American yards. Number 6. Wild violet. Those small purple and white flowers that pop up in early spring, tucked into the grass, along fence lines, in the cracks of walkways. Most people yank them out. Some people feel slightly guilty because they are pretty. You should feel something, yeah, but not because they are pretty. Because you are throwing away food. Wild violet leaves and flowers are completely edible and surprisingly nutritious, high in vitamin C and containing real anti-inflammatory compounds. The flowers can be tossed into salads for a gorgeous pop of color, made into violet-infused vinegar, steeped into syrup, or crystallized with sugar for garnishes. Chefs at upscale restaurants use edible violet flowers. They pay specialty foragers for them. Yours are free. Here is something practical. Wild violets are aggressive spreaders. Once established in your yard, they crowd out other weeds, doing your work for you. Letting them grow is not laziness. It is strategy. Halfway through. Let me pause here. Drop your city or state in the comments below. I genuinely want to see where this community is spread out. Last time I asked, we had people watching from over 40 states. Let's see what we get today. Now let's keep going. Number 7. Purslane. Low-growing, fleshy, thick reddish stems, and small rounded green leaves. It spreads across bare soil, driveways, garden beds. It is, according to global surveys, the most widely reported weed species on Earth, growing on every continent in conditions that would kill most other plants. Here's the fact that floors me every time. Purslane contains the highest levels of omega-3 fatty acids of any land-based plant on Earth. Let that settle for a second. We associate omega-3s with salmon, with fish oil capsules, with expensive supplements. Purslane, the thing you have been pulling out of your garden bed, contains 5 to 7 times more omega-3s per gram than spinach. It provides 6 times more vitamin E than spinach, 7 times more beta-carotene than carrots. The World Health Organization has listed purslane as one of the most important medicinal plants in the world. In Mexico, it is a beloved ingredient called verdolaga. used in traditional cooking for generations. In France, it is sold in produce markets as a salad green. In the United States, we spray chemicals on it. The flavor is mild, slightly lemony, slightly salty, like a cross between spinach and watercress. Put it in salads, in pesto, in smoothies. Stop pulling it. Eat it. Number 8 is specifically for anyone who struggles with seasonal allergies, joint pain, or chronic inflammation. But honestly, everyone should know about this one. Number 8. Red clover. Those little pink-purple pom-pom flowers bobbing around in your lawn every summer. Most people mow right over them. Bees love them, and there is a very good reason for that. Red clover contains compounds called isoflavones, phytoestrogens with a chemical structure similar to estrogen. Clinical studies have found these compounds meaningfully reduce hot flashes in perimenopausal and postmenopausal women. One double-blind study found that red clover isoflavone supplementation over 1 year reduced bone loss from the spine by 45% compared to placebo. Red clover supplements are sold in pharmacies right now for $15 to $30 a bottle. The flowers growing in your lawn are the same plant. Dry them and brew them into a pleasantly sweet tea. Red clover also belongs to the legume family, which means it actively fixes nitrogen in your soil, improving the health of your entire garden while it grows. One important note: if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or have a history of hormone-sensitive conditions, talk to your doctor before consuming red clover regularly. Like any powerful plant, it deserves respect. Number 9 has been climbing through your hedges and sticking to your clothes your entire life. Most people find it annoying. European herbalists have been prescribing it for centuries. Number 9. Cleavers. Those sticky, clinging stems that grab onto your clothes, your pets, your sleeves every time you walk through any hedgerow or unmowed area. You know exactly the plant I am describing. Galium aparine has been used across Europe for centuries as a lymphatic tonic, supporting the body's system for filtering waste and maintaining immune function. The plant contains iridoids and flavonoids with confirmed anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Research supports diuretic effects consistent with its traditional use for kidney and urinary health. Traditional spring tonics across Britain and Europe featured cleavers as a foundational ingredient, gathered every April for seasonal cleansing after winter. The best preparation is fresh and raw, blended into cold water or pressed through a cloth for concentrated juice. Rich in vitamin C and silica, which supports connective tissue. Cleavers got forgotten because we replace seasonal nutritional traditions with year-round synthetic supplements. The plant that has been volunteering its services every spring for 1,000 years is still doing it. Most people just walk past it, pulling its seeds off their coat. Number 10 tastes like someone put a tiny lemon inside a leaf. Fine dining restaurants in New York and Chicago pay specialty foragers for this exact plant. Meanwhile, it is growing in the shaded corner of your garden right now. Number 10. Wood sorrel. It looks almost exactly like a shamrock. 3 heart-shaped leaves, sometimes with a purple tint, small yellow flowers. You have probably seen it growing in the shaded parts of your yard or in containers on your porch. The taste is the revelation. Bright, tangy, lemony, like nature compressed a squeeze of fresh lemon into a single leaf. Kids absolutely love it. The first time you hand one to a child and tell them to taste it, their eyes go wide. Wood sorrel has been used traditionally to make cooling drinks, ease fever, and quench thirst on hot days. Both the leaves and flowers are edible, and a handful of them can completely transform a salad, a sauce, or a garnish. The sourness comes from oxalic acid, the same compound in spinach and rhubarb, perfectly safe in normal quantities as a flavorful addition to cooking. One note: enjoy it as a garnish or salad ingredient rather than eating it by the bowlful, and people with a history of kidney stones should avoid large amounts. Fine dining restaurants pay specialty foragers for this exact plant because it has a flavor profile that no cultivated herb can replicate. Yours is free, growing in the corner you gave up on. Number 11 cannot be missed once you know what you are looking at. It is literally the size of a person. Number 11. Mullein. If you have ever seen a plant that looks like a giant candle or a medieval torch growing in an empty lot, a roadside, or a neglected corner, that is mullein. It can grow 6, 7, even 8 feet tall. Thick, velvety leaves in a rosette at the base with a towering spike of yellow flowers reaching toward the sky. It looks like it belongs in a fantasy novel. Its real story is just as remarkable. Mullein has been used for over 2,000 years as a treatment for respiratory ailments. The ancient Greek physician Dioscorides recommended it for lung diseases. In Appalachian folk medicine, people brewed it into syrup for coughs, bronchitis, and upper respiratory infections. Modern understanding explains why it works. Mullein leaves contain mucilage, a substance that coats and soothes the inflamed lining of your airways. Plus saponins that thin mucus and make it easier to clear from the lungs. Today, mullein is sold in health food stores across the country as a lung support supplement in capsules, teas, and tinctures. People pay real money for it. It is growing wild in fields and roadsides near almost every American town. Brew the dried leaves into a tea, strain it well. Your respiratory system will thank you. And now we reach number 12. The one I saved for last. The one that in my opinion deserves to be the most recognized plant in this entire video. Number 12. Yarrow. Feathery fern-like leaves and flat clusters of tiny white flowers on upright stems. It grows in meadows, roadsides, and disturbed ground across the entire northern hemisphere. It looks ordinary. Its history is anything but. Yarrow is named after Achilles, the ancient Greek hero who, according to legend, used it to treat the bleeding wounds of his soldiers in the field. Field medics in both world wars carried dried yarrow in their kits. Laboratory research has confirmed exactly why it worked. Yarrow contains compounds called aculetin and acylane with documented hemostatic effects, meaning they genuinely accelerate blood clotting in controlled studies. Beyond wound healing, yarrow contains significant copper, iron, potassium, calcium, and vitamins C and K. A cup of yarrow tea delivers a meaningful dose of minerals that most people are chronically deficient in. Traditional fever treatment using yarrow tea appeared independently in Native American, European, and Asian medicine simultaneously. Every culture that found this plant arrived at the same uses without any contact with each other. That kind of cross-cultural convergence does not happen with plants that do not work. Before I close, for anyone who made it all the way through this video, the complete practical guide to identifying, harvesting, preparing, and using these plants is in the first pinned comment below. It covers everything we touched on today and more. And right now I'm offering 20% off for anyone who watched to the end. Use the code FULLVIDEO at checkout. The link is in the pinned comment. It's there whenever you're ready. My sister's probably going to go out again this spring and clear her beds. She will spend money on fertilizer for plants she planted while pulling out plants that were already feeding her for free. I am not going to say anything. I learned a long time ago that this kind of knowledge lands when people are ready for it, not when someone is standing at the fence telling them they got it wrong. But if you are watching this, you are already curious. You are already asking the right questions, and that changes everything about how you will look at the ground beneath your feet from here on. Nature is extraordinarily generous. It keeps putting food and medicine right at our feet every single season without being asked. We just spent a few decades being convinced to reject it. This week, before you pull a single weed, take 1 minute to look at what you actually have. You might be surprised by what is already growing for you. Drop a comment below. Have you ever eaten any of these plants? Which one surprised you most? Which one are you going to stop pulling? I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to know. Share this with someone who is out there fighting their lawn right now. They need to see this. Subscribe and ring the bell. I will see you in the next one.